Hi everyone, and welcome back to Excellence Noir, where we seek to raise the standard and change the status quo. My name is Tasha, and on this channel I share my experience as a St. Lucian living in the UK. So a few weeks ago I posted a video about me turning 30, and one of you guys told me that you wanted me to do a video talking about what I have learned in my 30 years of living. And so today I want to discuss with you not what lessons I've learned, but how I feel like I have changed. And let's just talk about the 20s. So anyways, I'm sure you guys are wondering what happened to my hair. I still have my hair, guys. This is just a wig that I found I bought in a store. So let me give you a little story about this wig. So I was like, you know what, I'm tired of my hair. And you guys know that those of you who have been watching me for a long time, you know that I used to post a lot of content about my hair, and then I got to a point where I was really frustrated with my hair. I think it's the water hair and the temperature as well was really making my hair dry and brittle, and it was really hard to comb. So I cut my hair last year, June or July, I'm not sure. But I cut my hair around that time, and I was able to like wear it in twist outs where I didn't have to pin my hair up, because you guys know as nurses we cannot have our hair drop. So I was able to pin my hair, I was able to do like twist outs and go to work, and I enjoyed that for a while. But now that it's getting cold again, I wanted to put my hair away and to wear like protective styles. So I had my hair braided in St. Lucia. The braids were really nice, however it was really hard to wear it at work because the braids were so long and I would have to put them in a big bun, and that was really heavy. Anyway, so I decided, I wanted a wig. So I started searching online for wigs, but let me tell you, I don't know about you guys. First of all, I am just not the makeup girl who's going to stay here and do all of these different things. I think I've really like had proper makeup done for me twice in my life. Once when I got married, and when I turned 30. So I'm not really like that makeup person, and I know for sure in my heart of hearts I know I'm not the wig person, doing this, doing that, I know, even if I try it, even if I watch tutorials, I will not do it. I will not be able to ever do it. So I didn't want one of those front lace wigs. I hope it's frontless. So I wanted something that I could just put onto my head and I don't have to do any drama. So I saw this wig and I was thinking, oh, okay, this is okay, not too bad. I mean, my sisters say that it makes me look like their aunt, but I don't care as long as it keeps my hair protected, and then it's passable, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm just gonna give you a little recap of my 20s, and then I will share with you just lessons that I've learned and how I feel like I've changed. So in my 20s, early 20s, that's when I completed nursing school. So I became a qualified nurse. I started working at the mental health hospital in a suicide hotline, because initially we didn't get jobs in the hospital. Then I got a job at the hospital in critical care. So my first nursing job was actually in critical care, and I have worked in critical care since then. After that, in my early 20s as well, I got married. I had like from nursing school this large group of friends. I also moved to another country in my 20s, left all my family behind, moved to another country, had a new job, met new people from so many different countries, so many different cultures, so that was really good. What else did I do? I got to become a specialized critical care nurse. I got to do many different courses that helped me to progress in my career, and I was able to travel to a few different countries. And so I feel like the 20s was, it was a time. Let's just say it was a time. Anyways, fast forward to me being 29 and a few months to turning 30. So that was a few months ago. And usually, like anybody who knows me from, I think, my teenage years, as a child, I would say I was outspoken, but I wasn't as open as I was as a teenager. So I feel like I was being bullied when I was younger, and so I realized that I needed to just speak up, or else I would be bullied the rest of my life. So that I kind of like forced myself to become a very outspoken person. But anyways, in my teens and my 20s, I was very extroverted. I was like, anybody who knows me, if I'm there, you will know I'm there. I love being around like groups of people. I love activities. If I reach somewhere, trust me, like if the place is boring or whatever, I will start activities. I will do this and that. Even back home, like with my young people, I would always keep them engaged. So that was me then. And like I mean, everybody knows me as that person, and even I know myself as that person. And I feel like moving here, I don't know if it's because the culture is different. People are more reserved than to themselves. I feel like I have kind of become like that. Well, I thought it was okay because I moved. Anyways, like a few months ago, I was speaking to some of my co-workers, and I was telling them, like, now that I'm going to be 30, I feel so different. Like before, if I was going back home, like on holiday, I would have like contacted all my friends and be like, oh hey, you know, I'm coming home, you know, for us to do this, for us to do that. And for the first time, I didn't feel like that. I didn't want to, I just wanted to spend time with my family. I wanted to make sure that I got to see as many of my relatives as possible. So I made the time to do that. And I did see some of my friends, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't feel that burning desire that I needed to be around like everybody like I used to. And so this is one of the biggest changes I noticed, that I like being at home and I like being like to myself. Before I would like call my friends and spend hours on the phone, or they would call me and we'd spend hours on the phone, and that was really nice. But I feel like now, I mean, I do keep in touch with my friends, and if somebody reaches out and stuff, you know, we can chat, and I do encourage them and I pray for them and I want the best for them. But I just feel like I constantly have my own stuff doing or dealing with or sorting out, that I don't really have as much time as I had before. Or I just feel like I'm more relaxed just being at home watching a show or reading, you know, or doing something that's productive. And that was never me. Like even when I'm in St. Lucia, when I came on holiday, my mom was saying, oh, this child is just never in the house. And although I'm still like that, like I like to go out, but my outing is just not, it's not like partying, it's not clubbing, it's not anything like that. I like going to like hikes and places I've never seen and things that's adventurous. I like these types of things, and I still love traveling. This is one of the things that hasn't changed. I still love traveling, but I feel like I'm just not as extroverted as I was. If I go someplace, I will be quiet until like I need to speak. And like my co-workers would invite me, or people would invite me to things, or let's go there, let's go. But that's just not, I feel like that's just not me anymore. Like and it was really shocking for me. But when I spoke to my co-workers, one of them was telling me like when she turned 30, she literally felt that difference. And like now when she goes back home, she doesn't even see any of her friends. She goes to see her family and she comes back. So I feel like these are some of the things that change. I feel like it gets worse because you have moved abroad, and some of my friends are abroad as well in different countries. And so I feel like the distance, it creates a distance between people. However, I wouldn't say like it's necessarily a bad thing. I feel like it's part of life. Like we grow up, and some friendships die. I mean, your values change. You guys just, you know, distance and time, and you know, different things come in between. And there are some friendships that you will just have the rest of your life. Some of my friends I don't speak to for a long time, but when we finally speak, you know, we joke around, we catch up. And then I always pray for my friends because I want the best for them. So I always keep them in prayer. So another way I feel like I have changed and I have grown is work-wise. So you guys know that I am a nurse, and in my videos I always talk about being the best that you can be and always trying to improve. And to be honest, like I've told, I don't know if I ever spoke about this before, but sometimes I look at myself as a new nurse, like when I just became a nurse, a qualified nurse, and it breaks my heart when I look at the person I am now. Like I feel like I could have been the nurse that I am now to people then, but I feel like I didn't get that exposure yet. I didn't get that experience. I hadn't you know, developed the way I should have. And what I mean by that is I feel like in our culture, St. Lucians, sometimes we can be a bit aggressive, like with each other, like for no particular reason. So I remember when I went on holiday, I went to KFC, and I think the person was new, whoever the cashier was new, or whoever was serving, she was new. And then the people on the line were like swearing at her and saying so many things and doing so many things. And I was thinking, like, it's so easy to be nice, like it's so easy to be patient with people. And I know that all of us are going through things, but it's not nice for us to like be harsh to people or ill-treat people, especially people who are trying. So that really broke my heart. And then it just reminded me that I wouldn't say that as a nurse that I was like harsh or rough with people, but I just wasn't as patient. And I think like the way that we come from nursing school and we just jump into nursing, we don't really get that proper training with interaction, conflict resolution, all of these things. Usually if we offer a patient medication, like, oh, this is your medication, and the patient says, oh, I don't want that medication, then we'll just be like, you know what, whatever, you don't want the medication, good for you. And that is an attitude, I would say, like being honest with myself, that is an attitude that I probably had when I became a nurse. And looking at myself now, like if my patient says they don't want a medication, I would ask them like, why? Do you understand what the medication is for? Do you understand like the benefits and whatever? Like listen to them, have a good conversation, maybe involve their family and just ask the family whether they can speak to them, invite the doctors to speak to them as well, just because you want to make sure that they're making an informed decision. I wouldn't force them to take the medication, but you just you're just more patient. And I feel like that's one of the ways that I've changed and improved, like communication wise with my patient. And I've always, anybody who's worked with me knows that I've always loved, like, I'll make the patients laugh, I'll play music, I'll sing, and all of these things. So I'm still that same way, because I know that being sick is horrible, and so I try to make sure my patients, like, even in hospital, they have a good time, they have a laugh, and so I try to make them as comfortable as possible. But I must say, in terms of my career, I feel like I've grown tremendously from how I used to be, even with my interaction with relatives as well. Before, back home, I think like sometimes relatives they come with that mindset, like let's say they're on edge because their family member is sick, so they're afraid, they're anxious, so they might come to you and be like, oh, what's going on here, or what's whatever, and then your first reaction is to give them that same kind of attitude back. And then now I've learned like skills to help me to be able to work with people and to discuss issues and to kind of de-escalate the situation. And so I feel like work-wise, all of the opportunities that I've been given, all of the courses that I've done have really opened my mind and changed the way that I interact with patients and with the relatives. And spiritually, I feel like to be honest, when I was in St. Lucia, I feel like my spiritual life was better, just because there was, when you grow up in your church, you have that kind of like belonging feeling, like that's your church. And if you're not there, people will reach out to you, or people will like notice that you're not there, check upon you, and you feel like you had a job to do there, like you had a responsibility. If you didn't go to your church, okay, if you go to visit, you'll feel like, oh, you wonder what happened at your church, or all of that. So I do have a church that I attend here, and I go and I participate, but it just doesn't feel the same. And so I feel like in terms of that, I feel like that's a big difference for me. And now I have been like being very deliberate about my spiritual life, and like studying and having my devotions, and I feel like in my 20s because I think I was reaching out to people more, like I would speak to a lot more people, I was like sharing the gospel more with people. And so this is something that I want to continue to do. So I want to have my ministry where I reach out to people and I share the gospel. And I also want my channel to be a channel that people can like listen to my testimony. So as you guys know, like almost all of my videos, when I talk about things, I will tell you how grateful I am to God because of what He's done for me. So I will not come in on my channel and like preach doctrines and all of these things, because we all can study and understand the doctrines. But what I can share with you is what God has done in my life and what He continues to do in my life. So this is something that I want to also share on my channel. So I want to continue to have these little chats that we're having. But spiritually, I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and I feel like I'm not even where I was. But I am being intentional and deliberate about improving my spiritual life. So to bring this video to a close, what I would say that I have learned now that I've turned 30 is that it's okay to change. and that was really hard for me because I was thinking, oh, what's going on with me? I'm so different from the person that I was. But that's part of life, that we will change. And sometimes we feel like, let's say if a relationship doesn't work out, or if friendships don't work out, or something doesn't work out, we feel like, oh, it's because something is wrong, or it's because something has happened. But sometimes it's just that you have changed, and so your values don't align with the person's values, or what you want is no longer what the person wants, or whatever like you saw in that job is just not appealing to you anymore because you have changed. And the most important thing that we should focus on is changing for the good. And even when you change for the bad, like realizing that you've changed, and then how can you improve that? How can you better yourselves? Like for me, I was on this, like, you guys know that I love fitness and exercise and health, so I'm constantly like exercising and doing stuff. However, because of some health issues, I've had to be taking medication which affects my weight, so that has been so stressful for me, honestly. Like, imagine like you're working out and you're not really seeing the progress. So that was like, honestly, that was really discouraging. However, I have realized now that I just want to be like fit and healthy, so I will continue to work out even if I don't see the weight loss that I want, or as long as I feel fitter, which I do. And I started running, and that's something I've never done in my life. But I started running, and that was really good. So I think it's just having that mindset to continue to improve as an individual, to continue to grow, and to continue to have an impact in the world. And I think for me, I must say that my 20s it was a lot. But it was really good, and I love that I made memories that I can really, like, if I want to tell my children about it, or if I want to share it with somebody, that these are memories that can encourage somebody. These are memories that I can look back on and smile. The friendships that I have and the friendships that I had, all of these things, like, you take the good out of it, and then you realize that you're so blessed. Like, things could have been horrible, things could have been worse, much worse. And so I'm just grateful to God that he's always had his eyes on me. Like, he's always been watching me. Even when I want to do my own stuff, he's always right there to like give me that nudge. So yes guys, so this is the video. I hope that you did enjoy it, and please share it with a friend who might like videos like that. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.